Welcome in Minnesota. I'm really pumped up about this one. I got Oliver West from Prep Redzone joining me, and this is going to be a lot of people were asking about, am I going to do like an all-state team or something to that extent? And this was my answer to this. We're going to be drafting like a dream team based on the 2025 season. So we got some rules that we're going to follow, and it's going to make things a little bit interesting. So the thing to note is it's not going to be like the best players in the state get drafted because of the rules being so restrictive. And we'll go over the rules. So it's going to throw some curveballs in there. It's going to get more representation of the whole state. Oliver, how you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me, Caleb. Yeah, you say restrictive, I say inclusive.
Right.
We're about to have Minnesotans from all over the state on this team.
Yes, all classes are definitely going to be covered on both of our teams. That's one of the rules, which we'll get into. But yeah, I'm excited to have you on the pod. I've been trying to get you on the pod, and it's been really my fault over the past like 6 months that I haven't gotten you on. But here we are. No better time to do it, and I think your knowledge is built for kind of this type of episode. So this is going to be awesome. All right. Well, let's get into it. I'm going to pop up our My 7-on-7 ad, and they've been supporters of us and supporting the work. So the Winter High School League starts in January. There's going to be a high school league at the Augsburg Dome, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be places around the metro as well, and outer metro. So if you have any interest, if you're not doing a winter sport, or even if you are doing a winter sport, it's something to get into, get that team chemistry before next season starts. So, hey, you can be playing later into November like all teams want to do. But yeah, link for that will be in the description. You can sign up as individual, or you can get your whole high school team to sign up basically and run it that way. But like I said, you can go solo, get assigned a team, and work your skills there. But yeah, let's get into some of the rules that we're going to be. So I told you I screenshotted. We were texting back and forth, and this was my idea to make this draft a little bit more interesting. So we each are going to get to draft our own team, and we're doing offense. And it's kind of, think about fantasy football. That's basically what we're going to be doing. You can choose your offensive personnel, and we'll get to that later. And I think interesting, we have different offensive personnel, so that makes it a little bit funner. And yes, funner is not a word. Rules to ensure some. Well, okay. Now let's get into the rules. I was just reading off the screen, but now rule number 1: you must have every class represented in your starting 11. Okay, so that's the first one. So 6A to 9 player need to be covered at least once. And then you can't have more than 2 players from the same class on your team. So if you choose 2 6A players, you can't choose any more 6A players. So that's what I talked about. It's not going to be, all the best players in state, because we each can only have 2 players from the same class on our team. So that's probably the biggest curveball. And then you can't have 2 players from the same team on your high school. So I couldn't, if I was drafting 2 Forest Lake players, that wouldn't be allowed because I already have 1, for example. And then rule number 4, you must have at least 1 class of 2028. That would be a current sophomore on your team. So any sophomore that balled out this season have to have at least 1. You can have more if you're so inclined, but you have to have 1 of the sophomores and sophomore on down if you want to do it that way. So yeah. And then also one more thing. We each get another quarterback to add, and our gadget player that we're going to get, and none of the rules apply to that. So technically we could have 3 6A players or 3 5A players or whatever class it is, because quarterback 2 and our gadget player do not count in the rule book. Does that all make sense?
It all makes sense. Yeah, I've had some time to prepare, which helps.
Yes.
I'm sure the listeners are going to be able to figure it out as we go, but I'm sure there's going to be a time where we're both sitting there scrambling, looking at our
Right.
respective spreadsheets. So
Yes.
looking forward to that.
No, it's going to make things very interesting. You're, of course, with Prep Red Zone. Would you like to talk about what we got going on this Sunday?
our inaugural biannual showcase. We're going to be in Brooklyn Park. This is the Stock Up Showcase. We're already nearing around 200 attendees. Caleb's going to be there getting content. There's going to be a ton of kids testing, competing. It's going to be cold in the Brooklyn Park Dome, but we're excited for the competition nonetheless. So make sure you sign up. I'll send all the information to Caleb after this, obviously. So
Hey, cold in the dome, but the competition is going to heat up in there. So it'll definitely warm up. We'll get the adrenaline flowing. Definitely show up to that. I'm excited to get the opportunity to be there and get whatever I can for content for you guys. So without further ado,
let's get into it.
Let's do this. I'm going to give you the inaugural Dream Team, high school Dream Team draft first pick to you.
Oh, I'm honored.
And now let me see if I can. I think I added something. Okay, this is great.
Should we go over personnel too?
Oh, yeah. Okay, we didn't do that. Yeah, so I'm doing 11 personnel. That's 1 tight end, 1 running back, and 3 receivers. What are you doing?
Yep, I'm doing 21 pers. Pretty running back heavy state, so I'm going to go 2 running backs, 1 tight end.
No split backs over there.
Little split back. Yep, I think we're both competing for David Mack's talent as well in that receiver spot. So.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. Without further ado, you got your first pick lined up, and I think I have.
Yeah. Okay. I hope I don't get booed, Goodell. But yeah, with the 2025 MN High School Network All-State Dream Team first pick, I'm going to take quarterback Jet Feeney.
Okay.
So there's like 1 6A, 1 2027 off the board.
Okay. I like that.
Nice to have my QB gone as well.
You know, that comment got me a little nervous because I've been planning out another Moorhead guy for my first pick.
I wonder where we're going.
Yeah, and that is going to be Mr. Mack himself. Really impressive. He obviously is the recipient of Jed Feeney passes. We can see the way teams respect him. They respect him with 2 people on the goal line. They respect him with a safety over the top. Now, other players in high school get doubled, but I don't think as much of the game plan gets focused the way it was focused on Mack, especially in the really high leverage games, which is really impressive. David Mack, my receiver 1, and I think we're going to be able to build an offense around him.
Yeah, he's a generational type receiver out of a state that doesn't produce a ton of high level receiver talent. You talked about kind of game planning in that state championship game. I was really impressive to see Moorhead kind of work him around so many spots. They were working to get him lined up on linebackers as often as they could, or safeties. And when they did, he was making them pay. He is incredibly smooth. And it's a little unfortunate Brian Hartline's going to USF because I kind of thought he was in the running for a legitimate Ohio State offer. So we'll see how that changes things now. But that's a great first pick. Obviously, David is a stud.
Yes, indeed. All right. So, hey, Moorhead being represented early on in the draft. Do you got your pick lined up? Are you ready to hear the chime?
Here, chime it up. Let's do it. Okay. With my second pick, I'm going to be hitting the 5A ranks at running back, and I'm going with Zach Shattuck out of Hastings.
All right. That's a good one.
If you have the receivers, I'm going to start loading up on running backs early.
That's probably going to be my first running back as well, I want to say. Now, there's some good running backs, most definitely. But, yeah.
Especially in the 27s.
Right.
It was honestly pretty interesting seeing Shattuck get the D1 offer first before Sleen. They both have good track times, but Martin Sleen is, I think, already sub 10.8. Kind of hard to wonder if that's maybe an outstate issue or not.
Yes.
You got the Hastings versus Hermantown, but track times don't lie. So I would offer both. I would offer both of them, to be honest.
Yes. There's track speed and then there's football speed. Track
quite different.
Yes.
Quite different. Football guys know too. You see a guy with track speed and you're getting dusted before you know it.
Oh man, this is tough. Do I want to eliminate the 6A. I'm going to do it.
I would do it early.
All right. With my second pick of the draft, I'm going to pick Joseph Mapson. I think he had a really good year, and I think he should have been on the Mr. Football list. I think that
Agreed.
was a snub.
Agreed.
So I'm going to give him his flowers here. This is a really good player, and we saw that. I think the defense he didn't have the defense to go along with it. An early playoff exit kind of watered down the season that he had.
Mm-hmm.
And
Agreed.
If I'm building a scheme and building a team, Joseph Mapson checks all the boxes that I want with being. I mean, we saw how much he ran the speed option for Andover, and I like to use my quarterback in the run game too, and that's just a different animal. I think he's the best running quarterback in the state. I don't who would challenge him. I don't know, but I'm gonna just put him at upper echelon of running quarterbacks, top dual threat in the state. So he's my QB1.
Yeah, I like it. I think Moore had success kind of overshadowed Andover competing very well at the 6A level themselves.
Right.
Watched Mapson go 4.62 on the lasers at the 6.12s. Spring showcase last year. He's going to St. Thomas to play receiver too, interesting enough. I saw that on the graphic. So won't be seeing him sling the rock around anymore. That doesn't make him any less of a potent prep QB. So yes. I like the pick. There's your 6A.
Yes. 6A gone already for me. Gotta find somewhere else, but yeah, here we go.
So with my third pick, I'm also taking 6A off the board. I'm going to go to the offensive line.
Nice.
And I'm going to take Joseph Hammer out of Lakeville South.
Okay. Yes.
6'7", 330 pounds. Iowa State offer. Doubt that's committable now that Matt Campbell's gone. Right. But he's a house. 6A experience. Dominant run blocker. Running with Lakeville South, who is a state quarterfinalist, state semifinalist. Sorry. Mm-hmm. I want some size on my O-line to build around. I'm putting him at offensive tackle, and I'm running Shattuck behind him all day.
Yeah. Hey, that sounds like a good scheme there. You mentioned the Iowa State, Campbell moving on. I think there's a lot of Minnesota player ties to Iowa State, whether that's going back to Cummins Coleman. I think went there from Coon Rapids.
Even further,
Francois.
Carson Hansen, Lakeville South.
Yep. You saw Peter Schoen, which might get drafted, flip from Penn State to Virginia Tech because of a coaching move. A lot of it, you think they're committing to a logo or a uniform, but it's people commit to colleges for the coaching staff, and when that coaching staff moves, that obviously changes their decision. So interesting stuff to see what's going to develop here.
But, I would argue Iowa State maybe recruits Minnesota better than anyone besides NDSU. Kids still go there and do well. Steve O'Klotz, that was an old Chaska fullback. I think he was a redshirt senior this year, and he was one of the best fullbacks in the country. He was a walk-on back in the day. They trust Minnesota talent, and they'll offer you. So we'll see how things change. I think I saw they brought in Jimmy Rogers before we got on the air. So some more Minnesota ties coming in. So I'd expect them to keep hammering the land of 10,000 likes.
Yes. So both of our 6A picks are off the board. We can only get to 6A after we circle back and do our draft. With that being said,
you're up, sir.
Pick, 11 personnel. You need receivers. I'm going to go Jamarian Sanders from Minneapolis North. I think he's one of the better receivers in state once you eliminate Mac from the list. Just in pads and 7-on-7, he dominates defenses, and you can't leave him single coverage. Otherwise, he is an automatic touchdown, basically. So Jamarian Sanders, one of my favorite receivers in the state, and he was a very fun watch with Lockermeyer throwing him the ball.
Yeah, I like it. A lot of kids say they're slept on, under the radar. He is actually slept on. If he's 1 inch, maybe 2 inches taller, I think he has power fours knocking down the door.
Yeah.
But wherever he goes, he's going to be a kid that I think plays early, finds success, could potentially find his way up, just like his brother did. So that's a great pick. I like it. Your receivers are loaded.
All right. So that is 3A there. Got to use the check mark.
Yep.
All right. So we're good. We've drafted 3 players. My list is still accurate. You got your pick lined up?
I'm ready. Let's do it. With my 4th pick in the MN High School Network Dream Team Draft, I am picking tight end Roman Voss.
Okay.
Out of the 2A ranks.
Yes. Yes.
He can do it all. Utility tight end. I'm putting him out in space. I'm, putting him on swipe back blocks. I'm giving him the ball any way I can.
Right.
His effort in the state championship alone was worthy of a very early pick.
Yes.
He put the team on his back all season, and JCC is not going all the way without him.
100% agreed. I think somebody tweeted the school records that he broke, obviously playing as much varsity football as he did for Jackson County Central. Just unbelievable. And we hope his collegiate career pans out. Whatever happens, obviously he's going to the Gophers as of right now, but wherever he ends up position wise, and who knows what a college career is going to turn into nowadays, especially with his talent. Hoping for a good success story there, because I know a lot of people are super high on this guy, and for the right reason. I'll say that.
Agreed. He's athletic. He's as athletic as anyone that size coming out of the state since Max Williams. So very exciting. Very exciting. He's going home. It's a really good 2026 class for the Gophers out of the state.
Hey, that's a real good pick there. Real good value coming.
He's
there.
Dynamic. He's dynamic.
Yes. And I think I'm going to follow it up.
It's earlier than I expected. Let's see.
All right, I'm going to get my tight end here, and
Okay.
I was thinking about staying in 2A and getting the Triton.
Peterson, yeah.
Okay, but I'm not going to go that way. I'm going to go Dre Frierson Holly from CDH. When I think tight end, I just think of this guy, super big body, because at least Voss and Peterson are strong guys, but they're kind of on the skinnier side of what a tight end is. And I think Frierson Holly's a big body tight end. It's like the prototype. I'm building a tight end in a lab for my offense. I want this guy. He's got the size to block. He's got the hands to catch. Really elite.
Long arms, huge catch radius. He was a standout at one of the Gopher prospect camps last summer. He was catching everything that came his way. He was also extremely productive, right? I think he has kind of above and beyond the best reception stats of any tight end in the state. Yes. Big reason why CDH went. Did they make it to the state quarters again? I think that's 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
So he's going to miss Isaac Johnson next year, but whoever's throwing it to him, he's going to catch it. So
I want to be a quarterback throwing to that guy. That's for
Agreed.
Sure. And 5A check. 4 and 4. Great. All right.
Let's do it.
Oh, my bad. I forgot.
Give me let me jingle it up. Okay. With my next pick, I'm sticking with the O-line. I'm sticking with an Iowa commit. We're coming out of the 5A ranks. My second 5A pick, Owen Linder out of Chanhassen.
Yes. That's a good one. It's a good one there. Beefing up the O-line early.
Iowa hits pretty well on their Minnesota prospects.
Yes.
Chanhassen had a very good team. He was a standout. I saw him live against Mankato East this year, and he was mean. He was bullying dudes. No one's beating him at the point of attack. Tons of big game experience. Chan made it to the state. Made it to US Bank twice in a row. There's a lot to like about him. I think he's going to play tackle at the next level. So that's always a good indicator of a kid's, foot speed and balance and athleticism. So excited to see how it works out in Kirk Ferentz land.
Yeah, you mentioned Iowa's success rate on Minnesota. Their success rate just on anybody that has their hand in the dirt, whether it's offensive line or tight ends, is very high. So if you get offered by them, it's a pretty good chance you're going to be a good college player and obviously a great high school player to go with that. So yeah, let me get him down on the drafted board so I don't double up and have that. We've all had our fantasy football where you think somebody's on the board and you think you're getting a value pick and somebody's like, no, he's taken. I took
usually
him
the pick right before too.
So yes, off the board there. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where you go with this.
All right. I'm now going to beef up the O-line. I'm going to go Weston Rowe from Jackson County Central. Okay. The left tackle, the kind of, I don't know. I saw him in the state games. Obviously huge, too. Just he's got the size, he's got the motor, he's got all the characteristics that I want in a left tackle. And if I want to keep Joseph Mapson's jersey clean, I think this guy is a good guy to do it, coming in at the left tackle spot.
Yeah, you talked about motor with Rowe and the state game. It was impressive to see him going both ways every snap against Goodhue. He was getting a lot of pressure from the defensive tackle spot too, and he is massive. That is extremely hard to put your hand in the dirt over and over and over. Goodhue was passing it a lot. That's a lot of pass rushes. That's a lot of extended plays. Right. That's a big kid moving a lot. I sat next to his dad 2 state championships ago. His dad is around 6'9", 6'10". He might not even be done growing. So SDSU got a good one. He's heading to Brookings, just like a good amount of talent in the 2026 class. I think that's an anchor of a pick to start your O-line off. And Joe Mapson would be feeling safe behind the big body out of Jackson. So yes. Good pick.
Yes, I love it. All right, you ready to go?
Let's do it. Sticking with the big boys here.
Nice.
I'm going 4A. I'm going with the number 1 O-lineman in the state, Andrew Trout.
All right.
Yeah, go for commit. One of the biggest kids I've ever seen. He is 6'7", I think, over 300 pounds. Was a prep Redzone Minnesota Showcase alum. When I was talking to him after the camp, I remember I was literally looking up like this. He's a brick wall. And super athletic. Unfortunately, tore his ACL, I think, his junior year. Missed, I think, all but 1 game. So this was kind of a snapback season for him. I think it took a little bit to get back and comfortable, but he's as athletic as it comes for a 6'7" kid. And for the Gophers to keep him within the borders, I think is huge. They got on him early, closed it down early, kept it, clean with him. He's going to be one that is going to develop into a monster in Dinkytown. So I like my O-line. I got a bunch of beef right now.
Yeah. Go for commits. Looking strong. I like it. This is where it gets to the point where the restrictions are really starting to hit.
Same.
Because I see players that I'm like, man, these guys should be drafted, and picking somebody is gonna eliminate them from being drafted. Which is
your one running back is that puts a lot of pressure on it, especially right. with it being a small school kid. There's some sleepers though.
I'm gonna go. Some would consider this a reach, okay, but I'm gonna go with my sophomore pick. Okay. And we saw this guy in the 5A state championship catching passes from a team that doesn't pass a lot, and his name is Caden Conkler. I think he had 2 receptions. He had the deep ball. I've seen this dude at 7-on-7, and I think a lot of my pick is based on what he could be. And I think if he was in an offense that passed a little bit more, he'd obviously be talked about. And I think he'd be more known as a sophomore. And it's not to a fault of him. It's just how high school football rolls, that he's kind of in a run heavy, really good offense that he needs to maximize his opportunities when when he gets them, and he did that in the state championship. And I think he's started to get his name out there, and I think it's going to be by his senior year. I think Cade Conkler is going to be a household name for his class.
That is a true sleeper of a pick, Caleb. I like it. You mentioned, I totally agree on the fact that if he was on a pass-heavy offense, he would be a 30-40 reception kid this year. Another showcase alum from Prep Redzone. He tested very well as a freshman. So he's a fast kid. He's big. He's got long arms. I think he's going to continue to grow and fill in. Showed up in clutch moments in a veer offense. So that means you're sitting there blocking over and over and over, and then you get one chance. Right. So you better make the most of it, and you better get open. And that's exactly what he did. Caught a big touchdown to help Spring Lake Park win the state championship. So that's a high value. It's nice to get your 2028 out of the way. I think that's a strong pick.
Yes. All my receivers are just gonzo. I think another thing is seeing some of these guys against competition out of state too, whether it's just down south, and they can not only hold their own, but also exceed expectations and kind of, set teams straight down south that are like, oh man, okay, this kid is somebody that we have to cover on this offense. It really shows a lot, and I've seen that happen. So yes, he is my pick. And now we're to, what is this pick, 14, 13?
So yeah, sounds right. Give me a little jingle.
So, here we go.
Jingle me up. Okay, you got me panicking about the sophomore picks. I'm also going to get my 2028 off the board. I'm going to go to class 1A, perennial contender Springfield. I'm going to pick Madden Lent. He's a 6'3", 180-pounder. Springfield really throws the ball around with Parker Kuhn.
Yep.
Back-to-back. Well, this year they didn't make it deep. 2024, I think Class A runner-ups when all those kids were sophomores. So they have some big game experience. Lent took a visit to NDSU this fall, I think with a couple teammates. So he's firmly on the Bison radar. I think I saw him this past summer Nate Wall saw him at NDSU or SDSU. He tested very well. He looks like a D1 kid. I also like Springfield's offense, and I like watching them play. So I was hoping to get either him or Kuhn or Moriarty. They got a big three of talent down there. So feels good to get the 2028 off the board.
Yes. And here we go. I think I'm in an interesting spot. So all my receivers are full. My tight ends are full. I got my running back slot, and I got O-line to fill, which puts me at an interesting position. And I'm going to go to – I got to use the chime first. Kyson Arndt, Minnesota offensive lineman. And I think there's probably multiple people on Minnesota's O-line that could be, within this draft. But I'm going to pick Kyson Arndt. Praise is high around the team, and I think it was really my first time getting to watch Minnesota like fully from whistle to whistle from both the semifinal and the championship. And man, are these guys impressive. And it's Kyson Arndt. It's not just him, but it's kind of everybody in the team. And obviously the biggest winning streak in Minnesota and one of the biggest winning streaks in the nation. I feel like I had to represent, and Minnesota's O-line is huge and they are good. So Kyson Arndt, welcome to the team.
Yeah, you mentioned the winning streak, 46, maybe 47 in a row. I think it's the seventh longest in Minnesota State high school history. Minnesota was the best team I saw all season, regardless of class.
Yeah.
Fundamentally sound. All the kids are tough. All the kids are fearless. And like you said, they had a big O-line this year. And Art was the best of the bunch. He's going to Augustana, 6'5", 225. Strong defensive lineman, too. He blocked a kick, I think, in the state final in the win over Breckenridge.
Yeah.
I remember last year thinking, I think we'll see the winning streak break this year with Minnesota, and then was proven wrong. So I don't know why I would bet against them next year until they do lose. That being said, they are losing a lot of size in the trenches, and it's a small school, so you kind of wonder where that's going to come from. But you don't win 47 in a row or whatever without kids being willing to step up. So
Right. No.
We'll see what happens.
Agreed. So I got 2 O linemen down. That is my first 1A pick there. Yes. And it's yours, right?
Yep. Okay, feeling like I'm going to round out my O-line class soon. I'm going to finish out my 2As. Weston Rowe is the most famous 2A O-lineman, but I'm going to go with Earl Brown out of Pillager.
Right there. Got to cross him off my big board.
Yeah, he's a very big boy. He's going to NDSU. He committed to NDSU kind of completely out of nowhere. He had been receiving offers and not posting them, so we weren't aware of. All you have to do is look at NDSU's track record with developing Minnesota O-linemen and get excited. A kid this year, Bo Johnson, a Spring Lake Park kid, he's getting NFL buzz out of NDSU. If you're a Minnesotan and you get a North Dakota State offer from the O-line, I would seriously consider going there because you got a good chance to go to the NFL. So he's huge. Pillager was very good this year. They were undefeated intel sections. So I like the value. I'm putting him on the interior and I'm letting him just eat people alive. So that's 4 out of the 5 O-line now.
4 out of the 5. I'm at 2, I think.
You're going receiver heavy though.
Yeah. It's good pickings here now. I still got to pick my running back as well. Wondering when to do that. But
small schooler for sure.
I'm going to go I'm actually going to stay in Class 1A, and I'm going to go to USC. And no, not the USC that you're thinking of, but United South Central. Jake Cassins is an O-lineman for him. I got to see a USC game. Now, they did play Fillmore Central, so it wasn't pretty for USC, but my eyes were open to this guy, and ton of size. I think Sioux Falls offered him, and I think that's where he's going. Pretty sure. Right. So, yes, and another 1A O-lineman that's going to go to my group that I think is going to be able to hang with anybody that would be challenging on the defensive line. And United South Central, stand up. Here we go.
I like it. Yeah, can't say I know a ton about him. I know my coworker Nate Wall saw United South Central this year and was also impressed. Yeah, I mean, Sioux Falls recruits the state well. Class A always has some maulers. I like it. I think he's a high potential kid. He's probably extremely strong at the point of attack as well. So get out the way or get bowled over.
Yes. All right. Are you ready to hear the chime?
I'm ready. Okay, I'm starting to worry about getting my 9-man fixed in there. So I'm getting a little shifty with it, and I'm going to put Micah Bush at running back.
That's a good one.
Out of Hills Beaver Creek.
Okay.
South Dakota State commit. He is a ball hawk at DB. He is a big play threat at receiver. He is a take it to the house type running back. Earned his offer at camp in Brookings this summer. That's about as good as it gets for any kind of prospect. Yes, he's a 9-man player, but his athleticism can get him a starting role on a 6A job in Minnesota easily. So I'm going to put the ball in his hands and let the kid run. I think it would translate with this O-line in front of him. So good to get my 9-man pick out of the way. I also love Hills Beaver Creek. They're going to compete again next year. They have a ton of size coming back.
I had another guy on my big board for tight end. Safi is also a sophomore, but I went 5A with the tight ends. But yes, I echo everything. Micah Bush stood out a ton at the game that I was at. Just like you said, I don't got to repeat you. One of my favorite players in the state, and I can't wait to watch him again at the All-Star game because I think he's going to be playing at the bank again. So, hey, I get to see him play football one more time before he goes to the Jackrabbits. So, fun stuff there. Let me get his name.
We're getting down there now.
Yeah, we are. We are. I'm gonna go. I jumped the gun.
Yeah,
I got to ring the chime.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm gonna go with my 4A pick, and I'm gonna pick a running back, Parker Richards from Casson Mancherville.
Love it.
Just love the way he runs the football. He gets me motivated for some reason. The way he runs, just running through arm tackles, running through just one of the tougher running backs to get down in the state. And you really saw that at the state game, the semifinal game. Little interesting, it's a weird drafting players, that you wouldn't run their scheme that they're in because he's pretty much like a fullback,
Triple option fullback,
his hand in the dirt, and basically exclusively up the middle. I think I'd be able to spread his wings a little bit in my offense and get him the ball in a little bit different ways. But when the ball is in his hands, I'd be confident that good things are going to happen. So Parker Richards, my 4A pick. There we go. Running back.
Yeah, number 7 for the comments was smashing Grand Rapids kids in that semifinal. Like you said, they were primarily running him between the tackles, but he was getting, go forward football every time. Running dudes over, a lot of pound for pound physicality for his size. Started the whole game at middle linebacker too, so he's tough, and I'm sure fully welcomes some early onset CTE. So that's a kid. That's a kid you want on your team.
Yes, indeed. So my running back's off the board. Let me check.
Okay, this is my last pick.
Is it?
Yep, I got 10.
How do I have? Do I have more than 3 alignment? Did I miss one? Because I have two. I have 2 left.
Yeah, that makes sense. I got 1,
Was
and you
it?
got.
I just drafted
unless
though.
we skipped you.
So if you had 1,
you want to go again?
Sure.
Yeah.
Wabasso, stand up.
Yeah.
We're gonna
let's
go.
Yeah.
9th player. Joshua Tim.
There we go.
And I got to see a Wabasso thriller. Was that the section game? I don't even know what game it was, but I can't recall who they were playing. But a really fun game to watch, and obviously Tim is a part of Wabasso, and just another. I'm going after. I've packed up my 6A and 5A with skill guys, so now I got to fill in the gaps, get some of these underrated offensive linemen that are in these lower classes to step up and answer the call, blocking for my big skill guys. So Joshua Tim, Wabasso, welcome to the team.
I like it.
There we go.
Yeah, blending the big school skill with the small school beef. Yeah, I think
Yep.
Tim had a brother who was a good ball player for Wabasso as well. He's huge. I think he's 6'3", 280-ish. Would make a great guard on a Minnesota high school dream team. So I like the pick.
Yes. Oh, sorry. You're waiting for the
Yeah, jingle me up. Yeah, jingle me up. Don't stop the jingle now. Okay, with my final pick, I need to represent Class 3A. I got 2 linemen I'm choosing from. And I'm going to go with the 2027 class and Minneapolis Camden's Zavad Robinson. I saw Zavad against Brooklyn Center week 2, and it was a rivalry game. The 2 sides had been talking crap for a while, friendly, of course, but they're somewhat neighboring, and the kids knew each other a lot. And Zavad was playing like it was a rivalry game. He was putting dudes into the dirt. Plays both ways. He's a legit 6'4", 270, super heavy-handed. North Dakota's all over him right now. I think he's got a chance to be a Missouri Valley kid. So I'm putting him in the interior somewhere and letting him pave the way, just like he was that day against Brooklyn Center. So
yeah, that's a great one. I'd echo everything you said. I got to see him in action. And yeah, hey, impressive, most definitely. And he's one of the dudes that you're like, dang, this dude is big. Plays both ways, so he's got to have the motor also to do it, obviously. And
And
the game,
produce. Yep.
exactly the game that I saw, it was probably like the hottest day of the season. It was like the Saturday afternoon game when players are cramping up and you want to die. I, as the cameraman, wanted to die, and I was not even doing any physical activity. I was just recording. So yeah, definitely a good pick there. And now I got to go here. I'm trying to get my list all
Last O
sorted
line,
out.
right?
Yep. See, that's a
He's
what? That's a
he's
one
talking
A
about
guy. That's a 1A guy off the board that I can't pick because of my own rules and restrictions. Let me. This is interesting here.
a lot on the line here.
My last offensive lineman. Should I go 2026 or 27 is the question.
I had that same. I went younger.
Okay.
I went youth. Do with that what you will.
You know, a couple of the guys that I really wish I got to pick. Uh, I think Eden Prairie deserves some love with offensive linemen that I wasn't
Sure.
able to pick. Guy was
Running
one of my
back too.
favorite. Yeah, guy was one of my favorite offensive linemen. He had one of my favorite blocks of the season that I posted on Instagram of just absolutely deleting somebody. I felt bad for him. Evan Zabel and Alexandria guy that I
Yeah.
really wanted to draft, but unfortunately I drafted two 5A players, and one of those is my sophomore guys, which kind of sucks because that takes away a really good offensive lineman away from me.
You got to take a sophomore though. Yeah, Alex had I had three or four, I think, Cardinals written
No,
down.
well, yeah, for good reason. And just to note, the Alexandria, not a lot of high schoolers are good at pass protecting, but Alexandria, they do
They throw it
such
around.
a good job of doing their pass protection that I was looking, and I do want to pass on my scheme, so Zabel would have been perfect. His
Right.
pass sets at wherever he was just really impressive. Javion Kelly, also another dude from 5A that's
Kennedy.
a
Yep.
beast of a player.
South Dakota cleaned up with Minnesota O lineman in 2026.
I'm thinking, have we drafted the Litchfield guy?
Deedle? No, that's who I was.
All right.
That's who I was
All right. I'm gonna
deciding
take Noah
between.
Deedle. I
I
was
like it.
thinking Earl Brown too. Also is a good name to go,
Good
but
name.
I'm gonna ring the chime and I'm gonna go Noah Deedle from Litchfield. He's gonna round out the offensive line. And again, it's kind of tough because, like I said, there's a lot of guys that you could and I would want to plug into my offensive line, but with these restrictions, man, it gets hard. And you gotta find out where your bread is buttered. I think Maple Grove also deserves a shout out because they had a lot of O
True.
line. We already had
Yeah.
Litchfield South represented, but yeah, a lot
6A
of good
was going
ones
to
out
be
there.
6A was going to be tough. A lot of 6A kids were going to be left on the board.
Yeah,
You just settled on a SDSU commit though.
yeah,
Deedle, people talk about how big Trout is. Deedle is just as big.
yeah.
Brother plays at Mankato. 3 or 4 year starter with Litchfield. Litchfield had a very productive offense this year. He's huge. He's got offensive tackle written all over him. He's the type of kid that does really well in the Missouri Valley. So you're far from settling, at least.
All right. Hey, my O line is complete. I mean, basically all our offenses are complete. Now we just got to draft our QB2 and our gadget player, which I don't know. I kind of want to. Should we throw in like a bonus player as well? Just because we're here.
I got a lot
Right.
of names left on the board. We could
Okay.
do a
So
fullback. We could do another
we'll
gadget.
do two gadget players. So players that we can use anywhere. We can use at receiver. We can use wherever. And rules will not apply to these picks and as we go forward. So, hey,
I like it.
it's like the purge now. No rules apply, no laws. It's the Wild West out here. So, with your pick, do you know where you're going? Should I ring the chime?
Yeah. Chime me up. Okay. Low hanging fruit. We talk about gadgets, utility. I'm going to go to Class 2A and Virginia Tech commit Pace
No,
Peterson.
dang it. Definitely
Plays quarterback.
great value there.
Plays quarterback, plays safety, plays linebacker. He's heading to Penn State to play tight end. You could probably line him up anywhere. Elite track time, 6'10" high jump, sub 50-second 400-meter, nearly sub 11-second 100-meter. He's an elite track athlete at 6'4", 195. So it was staring at me in the face, and I had to do it. I'm sorry.
Hey, no, it's a great pick by all means.
There's still some good names left on the board.
No, there definitely is. There definitely is. Deciding where I want to go. Do I want to go to QB or do I want to go to?
If I'm you, I'm taking a big gadget name off the board because there's a power 4 kind of utility player left.
Well, I'm gonna go a guy that I don't think you're talking about, but I like this guy from Benilde St. Margaret, and that's Jaden Garibaldi.
Nice.
I like this guy. I got to see him in probably what I'm guessing was his worst week in week 1 against Stewartville, but you could see the talent that he had, and I think throughout the year he showed that. And this is the jet sweep guy, the slot guy that my old Vikings fans know, the Percy Harvin of my offense, to kind of basically use wherever, get him the ball, whether it's in the backfield. But good things happen when this guy gets the ball in his hands, and I would like him as a playmaker on my offense.
I like it. Benilde had somewhat of a disappointing year, I would argue. That doesn't make Gibraltar any less talented. Scholarship kid, fast, ball hawk on defense. You can line him up at a lot of different spots.
Yes. All right, here we go.
Chime me up. I know that this is a dream team. I know this is in preparation for one single season. It's hard not to think about the future, though. So I want to go. I want to go to the backup QB. I'm going to the Minnesota private school ranks and the 2030 class.
Nice.
In SMB's Carter Cupido, son of a Gophers legend, Brian Cupido. He's already a varsity hooper at Minnehaha. He just started at SMB this year, who had won 2 games in the last 2 years, 3 games in the last 2 years, maybe. I think 2 games in the last 2 years. And they were 1 play away from qualifying for the section final in Class 4A. So he's a talented kid. He's got a very talented father, multi-sport athlete. That usually spells good things in Minnesota. So I want to take care of my future and make sure that I get kids transferring to my school and not out. So going with Carter.
And I'm pretty sure the Big 4 guy that you're talking about, as long as I know it, is still on the board. And as long as he can hold on to the ball, that's who I'm going to go with. And I think this is like pretty much the ultimate utility guy in Francois from Minnetonka, a running back, a quarterback. Even though they don't let him throw the ball when he plays quarterback, can catch footballs. And we saw how dominant he was. And at the bank games, whether it was running, catching the ball, he did it both this season. Really talented. He's got the size. I can use him wherever. And this one I wanted to go more running back centric as well, because all good. Hey, with your personnel, you're telling me a good offense needs 2 running backs. And I believe that as well. So you get a good change of pace with Richards there. And you can also use him however you like. Get a little wildcat action with the threat of a pass. I like it. I like it a lot.
I like it too. That's a good pick. Nothing wrong with utility.
There's so many not only 6'8" running backs, but like a ton of running backs that I wanted
Overall.
to draft. Just looking at
Francois,
like the names, but
Francois is a unicorn, though.
right,
I mean,
exactly.
there's
You
nothing
can't
incredible.
justify it.
Yeah, there's nothing incredibly flashy about his game, but he's a workhorse. He's tough as nails. He's always going to get you 4 yards.
Yeah.
And there's a reason he's going to play running back at the power 4 level. So hard not to pick the state runner up and Big 12 commit. So I like it.
Yep.
All right, I got my last pick. I'm ready. Okay, I am a big fullback guy, self-admitted fullback obsessed. I'm going to take a bit of a sleeper here. Going to, I believe it's class AA, maybe class 3A, Aiken, the Aiken Gobblers, one of the best mascots in the state.
Yeah.
I'm going with 6'3", 215-pounder Parker Fulton.
Nice.
At fullback. I just want downhill, 220 pounds coming at you fast.
Yeah.
Make you quit after 4 quarters.
He's got I don't want down. That if I'm playing you.
Yeah. There's a reason we're both drafting offense.
Right.
Fulton's a beast though. Small school kid that requires a lot of carries in a football game. He's got a lot of carries over his career. You pair him behind my massive O-line and you got a wall of Chevrolets running at you. So I feel good rounding out my team there. I thought about taking another tight end, but Roman Voss is too tough. I think he can go through a whole season without getting hurt. So
yeah, I would agree with that. And with my last pick, I'm drafting my second quarterback here. That's going to be in my scheme. And there's some dual threat guys that I would like to have, like maybe one out of Hopkins or one out of Alexandria, the two being kind of the most attractive in my spot, or Fred Swedberg from Hillcrest Lutheran, which
yep.
He's huge. I think he showed his talent as well. But I'm gonna get the pocket passer that I think was the best this season, and that's Isaac Johnson from CDH.
Nice.
I really like what he can do, and now he's going to be, again, my pocket passer. I got my dual threat in Mapson, and then when we need to just drop back and deliver where it needs to be in the pocket, there's a really good ball. And just look at the numbers that he pulled at CDH this season. Really impressive guy, and that is one hell of a quarterback too in a dual quarterback system there. I'm really liking the change up between Mapson and Isaac Johnson. Really
Johnson passed for more than 3,000 yards this year.
I wouldn't even use quarterback two in the sentence. It's just two quarterbacks on my team.
I think over half went to your tight end, Dre Fearson Holly.
Hey, that's an underrated. Got the
duo.
The chemistry there. Yeah.
Yep, Johnson, 3-year starter, I think, maybe at least 2-year starter. He plays well late in November with his Raiders. Qualified for state a couple times. I believe he's a Mr. Football finalist. Don't quote me there. But the numbers speak for themselves there, and that's a high value pick coming in last but not least.
Yeah. I got so many screens going up with my board and the computers. If you look down at my whiteboard's all black with this marker. This is the true fantasy football experience wrapped up in
computer overheating.
Right. Yeah. I can hear my computer, even though I have headphones on. I can just hear it burning up. But yeah, that's going to conclude the Dream Team Minnesota High School Football Network draft for this season. Hopefully we'll make this an inaugural thing and come back to it after every year and draft our team. I don't know, there's ways to tweak it where we can maybe get even more players involved, because just looking at my board, there's a ton of players that I think should be on this list that didn't get drafted. And that, I mean, it's the reality, but it kind of sucks because you just have all this talent kind of just staying on my big board and I get picked. So I don't know if there's ways to next season that maybe add a few guys drafting, which makes even more prep work for us, or opening up the positions and letting more people be drafted. I don't know, but we'll see. But I think it was a successful first draft year.
I agree. Yeah. Thanks again for having me. If the people want it, we can go too deep. We can also do a defensive team.
Yeah.
Just let Caleb know what you're thinking. Yeah, I'll say this unsolicited, but no one works harder than Caleb in this space. This dude is out there grinding to film you guys and to put you on and to bring you exposure. So make sure you show him some love. Make sure you watch the videos. Make sure you like and subscribe. Leave a comment. We appreciate you guys tuning in and letting us talk about something we love. So keep up the good work. And thanks for having me, Caleb. I appreciate it.
Yes. Well, hey, right back at you. You do great work and you strive to, promote and give as much exposure as you can to these high school football players, which I think at the end of the day is both what we're trying to do. We're just trying to, give these guys a bigger platform to showcase their talent that they have and that they've been working so hard on. So, yeah, appreciate it. It was very fun. And that's the video. We got our first draft lined up. Hopefully everybody's watching it. Share it out. If you maybe know a player that was drafted or a team that was represented that you didn't think would have been or something like that. But yeah, let's get it some views and appreciate you guys for watching. Not only this one, but for those of you that have watched all the other ones in season. And I think Coach Lance is going to hop on for a couple more fun ones in the offseason. And who knows what offseason content we got cooking up. We already got some coaching changes and coaching rumors happen, which I do want to talk about eventually, but it's kind of up in the air as of right now. Nothing specifically to come out as far as I know. Now, maybe something broke over the past whatever, but
you would know first.
Yes.
If you don't know, then I don't think anyone else does. But yeah, make sure you stay tuned. Caleb's got some great sources. He's on top of the scene in the state. Yeah, stay tuned.
Yes, I appreciate you guys, and thanks for watching.